Hello, young lords, learners, and viewers. I am going to talk about The Sun Rising by John Donne. John Donne was a great metaphysical poet of the 17th century. He was born in 1572 and he died in 1631. He was born in a Catholic family, so he could not come out with a degree from Oxford. Later, John Donne did BA and graduation in law, and later both the universities conferred him doctorate degrees. John Donne was a well-read man. He studied arts, science, theology, law, geography, economics, political science, and many other subjects. Now, one thing that we must bear in mind while studying this poem, The Sun Rising, we must know some background to the poem. In the 17th century, the routes for America was discovered by Vasco da Gama, by Columbus, Christopher Columbus. Many scientific discoveries took place during this period, and this paved the way for British colonization of America. John Donne makes use of far-fetched images, conceits to express his powerful feelings in this poem. So, all these things must be kept in mind while studying the poem The Sun Rising. Now, I shall explain the poem stanza-wise, line by line, so that the young learners and viewers may understand this difficult poem, which is one of the best metaphysical poems of John Donne. This is again a love poem in which John Donne celebrates married life, conjugal life, wedded life. It is important to know that John Donne got a job at Thomas where he fell in love with his niece Annie Moore, who was a very attractive, charming and beautiful girl. He continued to love Annie Moore till his death. Annie Moore was a beautiful lady. She was a niece of um, Thomas and daughter of Thomas More, the famous philosopher. Now let us read the poem and see how the poet expresses his powerful feelings through different images, conceits, and wits in the poem. Let me begin the poem. Busy old fool, unruly son, why dost thou thus through windows and through curtain call on us? The poet calls the sun to be busy old fool because it is very old, and it is fool because it trespasses into the room of the poet where he is sleeping with his darling beloved Annie Moore. The poet says that the sun is a trespasser because he enters into his room when he is enjoying his married life with Annie Moore. Must to thy motion lover's season run? The poet asks the sun whether the lovers must have a definite season to love. The poet is of the view that lovers have no season. They can love in all seasons. Saucy, pedantic, rage, go, chide, late, schoolboys, and sour apprentices. Again, the poet calls the sun Saucy, pedantic, rage. Saucy means one who is disrespectful to others, one who does not pay respect to elders. Pedantic means one who shows off his knowledge and learning. Pedantic. And rage means one who is unhappy, who is uncheerful and miserable person. So the poet calls the sun to be saucy, pedantic, rage. Go and ask the children to be ready to a school. And the apprentices, go tell court-huntsmen that king will ride. The poet also calls, or the poet also says to the sun to go and tells the courtiers that the king is going hunting. Call country aunts to harvest offices. Then he tells the sun to go and wake up the farmers to harvest and cut crops in the field. Love all alike, no season knows, nor clime, nor hours, days, months, which are the wrecks of time. The poet says that love knows no season. It is possible in all the seasons. It happens in all the seasons. It has no fixed season and climate. There is no fixed hours, days, and months for making love. The second astinja. Thy beams so reverent and strong, why shouldst thou think? The poet asked the sun, why the sun thinks that its beams are, its rays are so revered and so strong. I could eclipse and cloud them with a wink. The poet says that he has power to eclipse the sun and cloud the sun with closing his eyes. But that I would not lose her sight for long. But the poet says that he will not close his eyes, because if he closes his eyes, he will lose sight of his beautiful beloved, that is Annie Moore. But that I would not lose her sight so long, if her eyes have not blinded thine. The poet says that the shining, the bright eyes of his beloved may blind the eyes of the sun, may dazzle the eyes of the sun, because eyes of Sunny Moore are bright and beautiful. If his eyes have not blinded thine, look, and tomorrow late tell me whether both the Indias of a spice and mine be where thou leftest them, or lie here with me. The poet makes use of conceits here. The poet says to the sun that the poet enjoys the spice of India and the mines of the West Indies, that is very close to Caribbean Sea and Americas. Be where thou leftest them, or lie here with me. The poet asked the sun whether the spices from India and the mines from the West Indies lie where the sun has left them, or they lie in the bed of the poet where he is sleeping with his beloved. Ask for those kings whom thou sawest yesterday, and thou shalt hear all here in one bed lay. The poet says that his bed contains all the kings, all the emperors of yesterday. He is more pleasant, or he is more happy than all of them. Third astinja. Sees all states and all princes I. The poet says that his beloved represents all the states. All the states lie within her, and he is the prince, he is the emperor, he is the king there. All honors mimic, all wealth alchemy. The poet says that all honors are trifling things before his love. All wealth is alchemy, very trifling thing, simple thing, having no importance. Thou, sun, art half as happy as we. The poet says that the sun is not as happy as the poet and his beloved are, because they have all the pleasure in one bed. In that the worlds contracted thus, thine age, the poet says that the entire world lies in his bed. Nothing is beyond his bed, which the poet enjoys. Thine age asked is, and since duties be to warm the world, that is done in warming us. The poet says that the sun is old and very tired, so the sun needs rest and comfort. The poet says that the duty of the sun is to warm the world. If he is warming, then his duty is over, his duty is done. Thus, thine here to us, and thou art everywhere. If they shine upon them, the sun shines all over the world, because the poet and the beloved represent the whole world, the entire world. Thus be thy center is, these walls thy sphere. The poet says that this bed is the world, and these walls are the sphere of the sun, the limit of the sun. If the sun shines over there, the sun shines the entire world, shines at the entire world. Thus the poet expresses his deep love through this poem. That's all.